Greetings and salutations. This is the voice of Loquacious of Herd, bringing you his afterthoughts on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 8, Episode 4, titled Fake It Till You Make It. I heartily suggest you find and watch the episode itself, sans commentary, before proceeding with either this Spoken Herd Afterthoughts review or viewing my full reaction, which is hosted at the link in the description. Please support the official release. Be warned, this Afterthoughts review will contain spoilers for the episode. With that out of the way, on to the review. We open back at Sweet Feather Sanctuary, where Fluttershy is having a lovely picnic with her animal friends, and Angel is being Angel. Then along comes Rarity, in quite the state. Long story short, there's a fashion contest going on in Canterlot. Rarity doesn't have her centerpiece together for it yet. She's calling in all of her friends and employees to help with couture, and as a result, she desperately needs some pony to watch her Manhattan shop, Rarity for You, for a couple of days, because all of this also coincides with a particularly busy shopping season there. And for shop duty, Rarity chooses Fluttershy?
Of course! I'm happy to help, though I'm surprised you picked me.
Well, I may have asked a few others. Sorry, but we've got a Wonderbolt show coming up.
Sorry, but it's pie season and the pie orders are piling up.
Sorry, I've got a curriculum to make up. Nope.
Nope.
My calendar's packed, but I hear Fluttershy's free. And you haven't asked Boulder.
It doesn't matter who else I asked, because I couldn't be happier that you agreed to help.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense. While Fluttershy's knowledge of sewing and fashion is much better than the average pony, as was established in Season 1's Suited for Success, Flutter's temperament is not well suited for dealing with the sort of customer service demands which ponies coming to a high-end fashion boutique would doubtless place upon her. What's more, I'm quite pleased that this isn't so much a matter of Fluttershy's shyness being the issue. While her shyness may well factor into her general ill-suitedness to playing the part of clerk to the demanding hoity-toity masses, it's really more a matter of, well, all of her. All of Fluttershy's self is horribly, horribly suited to undertake this endeavor. And while Fluttershy, due to her only rarely tapped depths of inner strength, might well be able to pull something out of the hat, so to speak, and manage to deal with a customer, or 2, or 3, or 20, well, talk about a drain on her mental and emotional resources. So, Rarity asked Fluttershy last, not because of Flutter's lack of familiarity with fashion, but rather because Rarity just didn't want to put her dear friend through what would be, for Flutters, the soul-crushing horror of working retail. It's kind of sweet, really. But wait a moment. In the long montage of who all Rarity is calling on to help with this whole fashion project thing, there's one notable pony absent from the list, Coco Pommel. At first, I wondered at her absence. She's neither spoken of as a pony who could have helped Rarity run her shop, nor as an assistant for Rarity in her final stages of throwing together some keystone couture for the Canterlot crowd. But then I remembered, back in Honest Apple, Hoity-Toity and Photo Finished informed Rarity that Miss Pommel is now showing. She's made a fashion debut in Manhattan, and is apparently doing quite well creating her own couture. As a result, I strongly suspect that Coco's not available to help Rarity because Coco will be one of Rarity's competitors at the Canterlot Fashion Show. I'm sure those two will be the friendliest and most supportive of rivals. But alas, this means that with only the assistance of Smokey, Soft Pads, and Smokey Jr., Fluttershy will be the pony minding Rarity's Manhattan shop. And what sort of customers will she have to deal with there?
Hello, welcome to Rarity for You. What can I help you with?
I need something classic but modern, something with drama but also understated.
Aren't all those things opposites?
Yes, so?
But how can I—
I'm sorry, are you asking me how to do your job?
No, but I just, if I may, I'm thinking noir-esque minimalist, but with a twist. Perhaps a tapered hem.
you read my mind? Are you a fashion psychic?
Yeah. While Rarity can deal with ponies like that, this is going to be a real throw Fluttershy to the wolves experience overall, only without the wolves. Fluttershy could deal with wolves easily. But, ready or not, Rarity must leave. And of her offerings of advice, the one which seems most helpful involves costuming. Why am I not surprised that costuming is one of her more effective suggestions? Basically, if Fluttershy were to dress the part of a shop pony, perhaps she could feel the part of a shop pony, and thus be better able to interact with the customers. With the first demanding stallion that Fluttershy must deal with without the assistance of a nearby Rarity, Flutters finds that without the mental boost offered by this, well, disguise, really, she just can't deal. She flees to the back. Ah, but with a costume on?
Severe, but not unapproachable. Acceptable business attire. Oh, does that sound like a shop pony to you? So sorry for the wait. The shop has some staffing issues today.
Yes, well, I still haven't had an answer on this thread count.
Here at Rarity for You, our merchandise defies typical attempts to quantify its quality, but rest assured it will make you the envy of all who see it.
Oh, in that case, I'll take 3.
Ta-ta!
Wow, Fluttershy can act. Well, we've seen her play the role of Private Pansy in a play, and we know she has considerable charisma on those rare occasions when she chooses to deploy it, so her going full method actress on this whole snooty diva of a shop pony thing, well, she's nailing it. But at what cost?
Smokey Jr., I can't believe it worked. I suppose clothes really do make the pony after all.
Yeah, as I thought, Fluttershy must pour a lot, and I mean a lot, of energy into maintaining the whole facade of these characters. Further, it seems that she's finding that it's easier to disassociate her true self from the role she's playing as she starts pushing the snootiness levels further. It's a good thing she has such reserves of inner strength, otherwise she'd completely fall apart within an hour, tops. As it is, maintaining this new persona is clearly a strain. Maybe a little fun for her to play out such a different role, but still a strain. Keeping that strain from showing to the customers is yet another strain. And when Diva Shy proves insufficient...
One moment, please. Oh, I think I need a new character. Okay, I've got like this high-key savage look for you. It's a totally live ensemble with the little like thingies that sparkle and make the whole squad go, whoa, that pony is woke.
That outfit isn't the only thing that's high-key savage and woke. Hipster Shy is amazing. But wait, there's more. When neither Diva Shy nor Hipster Shy will fit the bill, we've got a third Flutter joining the crew.
Do you have anything in black?
Can you, like, chill for 1 sec? BRB. It's not like the futility of shopping can be made better with black leather and metal studs, but they help.
Yes, indeed we have something in black. Hello, Fluttergoth. These 3 characters Fluttershy is playing proceed to interact with the various shoppers, and Fluttershy's quick change abilities would put Pinkie Pie to shame. I suppose those changes must be something the magic in Andrea Libman's voice was able to transfer from one character to the other. On that note, Libman clearly had a wonderful time doing all these Flutter variations on a theme of Shy. Kudos to her. Ah, but the problem soon emerges. Fluttershy is letting a little too much of Flutter Bitch, last seen in dreadful forcefulness back in Putting Your Hoof Down, infuse these 3 increasingly snooty and ill-mannered shop pony characters. I strongly suspect part of this is a defense mechanism or survival mode kicking in. by submerging herself so deeply into these characters. Again, kudos to Flutters for her skills as a method actress. Fluttershy is distancing herself mentally and emotionally from this extremely stressful situation she has stepped into. With no end and no breaks in sight, this increasing meanness and cruelty seem to be Flutters subconsciously lashing out at the demanding shopping ponies around her, trying to drive them away so she can have a break to gather herself back to herself. No breaks, and these personas were going over well, so blinded by any number of factors, Fluttershy keeps channeling her vast inner strength into these increasingly unpleasant, though delightfully hilarious to watch, personas. Go dissociative disorder. This whole situation is becoming terrible for everyone involved, and all because Fluttershy is trying her best to give the customer the sort of experience she feels they want. With things reaching a head, Smokey, Softpad, and Smokey Jr. go to get help from Twilight.
Okay, slow down, everyone. I'm doing my best. So, Rarity is busy at an important fashion show, and Fluttershy is running her shop in Manhattan, but to do it, she's playing different shop pony characters that are all mean?
How in the world did you figure that out, Spike?
I'm not Dragon Charades champion for nothing.
I can't imagine Fluttershy would ever be mean to her animal friends. This sounds serious.
Spike, tell everyone it's time to head back to Saddle Row.
Unfortunately, by the time her friends, with the notable exception of Rarity, make it to Saddle Row, Fluttershy has gotten fully lost in the characters she's playing. And worse, she's acting out even more with her assertive nature. And Fluttershy, coupled with the trait actively assertive, is something which is still both overpowering, as we've seen in Dragonshy and Stairmaster, as well as, well, savage. Particularly when in a new situation, Fluttershy really struggles with finding a balance of forceful assertiveness and quiet kindness. Right now, Flutterbitch reigns supreme. Can her friends talk her down?
Fluttershy, I understand why you think you have to act this way for these customers, but there's gotta be a better way.
Goodness, you are so right. Please, step this way so that we may discuss your concerns.
I knew you'd come to your senses.
Indeed.
Apparently not. I'd say things are now officially entirely out of control. Fluttershy doesn't appear to be capable of walking herself back from these three new personas she's acting out. Rarity was right to be concerned about dropping Fluttershy into the middle of this must-act the part of a sales pony mess. It's turning out worse than even she feared. Fluttershy's friends track down Rarity at the Canterlot Fashion Show, where Rarity's still not found the perfect design and inspiration for her new dress, and she's out of time. So Rarity's model is off to the runway to try to sell what Rarity has put together. I'm amused to note that this modeling pony looks rather like Fluttershy herself, a nod, I suspect, to the idea that Fluttershy is indeed beautiful enough to have her own modeling career, which, as she learned in Green Isn't Your Color, Fluttershy most certainly does not want. Upon learning the state of Fluttershy and the difficulties in the shop, Rarity returns post-haste. Things there are bad. The Flutter Trio are actively trying to drive away customers. Well, Rarity got Fluttershy into this mess. Can Rarity get Fluttershy out of it?
That's it! Fluttershy, I'm afraid you've left me no choice. You are terminated!
Well, good luck replacing me.
Well, thankfully
I always thought she was too controlling.
You are terminated too!
Whatever.
Now
I know, right? I mean,
Actually, you're, like, totally terminated as well!
like, okay.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
I guess I owe every pony an apology.
Finally, Fluttershy is back. With Rarity's help, she was able to walk it back one persona at a time and get back to herself. Further, as stressful, fun, difficult, and painful play acting those three increasingly cruel characters was, Fluttershy's first concern is for the friends she may have hurt over the course of her disassociative break. Apologies given and accepted, Fluttershy's inner strength winds up being the inspiration for Rarity's newest gown. A gown which gave me Wonder Woman vibes, which feels rather appropriate when talking about Flutter's strength of personality, which, as I recall from Power Ponies, has manifested in a most Hulk-like rage when she goes full-on defense mode. Seriously, don't make Flutters bitchy. You won't like her when she's bitchy. New gown and old Flutters. Life is back to normal, yes?
Oh, it's lovely, Rarity. I'm just sorry you had to leave the Canterlot Royal Fashion Show early.
Oh, darling, making the perfect dress is scads more satisfying than showing it off. Oh, yes!
Ooh, striking dress, Rarity. I certainly hope you aren't trying to undercut the Royal Fashion Show by ducking out and debuting it here.
What? No, have you considered the possibility that the Royal Fashion Show is trying to undercut Rarities by continuing on in Canterlot and not moving the whole affair here? Have you?
No.
Yep, that looks normal enough for me. And on a note of personal curiosity, I do wonder who did win the Canterlot Royal Fashion Show. I rather hope it was Coco Pommel. If I were to level a criticism at this episode, it would be that the ending doesn't feel as neatly ordered, with an easily discernible moral, as most of the more fable-like slice-of-life episodes do. Is the intended moral more a matter of not getting in over your head with things? Not getting your friends in over their heads? Finding coping mechanisms for stressful situations that don't wind up hurting others? Learning control and restraint? Being responsible with the social, mental, or emotional power you wield? I mean, it's good that the others aren't trying to punish Flutters further for her acting out. I'm sure that just the experience of working that sort of retail was more than enough punishment for her. Likewise, I'm glad that Flutters isn't angry at Rarity for effectively putting her in that position. After all, while Fluttershy technically volunteered, it's not like Flutters had a good handle on what she was getting into. And Fluttershy did take ownership of her actions and the characters she created, apologizing for their actions, so that's good too. Nevertheless, the ending feels a little rougher, messier, and less satisfying than many Pony episodes do. Then again, life itself can be rough, messy, and unsatisfying at times. I suppose that this is an episode where you sit back and enjoy the journey more than the destination. And oh, what an amusing journey it was. If you wish to see my full reaction to My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 8, Episode 4, titled Fake It Till You Make It, the link, as I mentioned earlier, is in the description. Feel free to leave any comments or likes for that reaction here on this Afterthoughts review. And until next time, as always, kindly remember, y'all are awesome. Stay awesome.